guys, how's it going tonight? In this video, I'm going to show you how easy it is to add LED lights to your fuselage of your RC Airliner. This is step one in about a 2 or 3 step process, or 2 or 3 video series, where we're going to add LED lights to this UPS 767-300 freighter. This is a customer's plane, and I'm going to show you how I add the tail flood uplights and the upper fuselage red strobe light. And that's what we're going to do in this video. Okay? Let's get started. Okay, here's the plane we're going to be working on today. We're going to be adding our LED lights into my customer's 767 freighter UPS. In this video, we're going to add the top red anti-collision light to the top of the fuselage, and we're going to add the tail recognition floodlights, or flood lamps, to the elevators, and they're the up lamps that show the airline and the insignia of the livery. So let's get started. All right, let's take a look at our LED light kit. Now these are generic light kits. These are some of the packaging. These are generic light kits that you can get off, that I get off eBay. You can get them from Tower Hobbies, from a number of companies, but I primarily eBay. For $7 to $10, $15 a piece. You can get these sets. And unfortunately, I am competing with a bunch of Blue Jays and Cardinals for sound right now, so I'm sorry about that. So I'm up close to the mic so you guys can hear me. This is the module in question right here. Okay, it's called an RC car flashing light set, but it's generic and it can be used for an airplane as well. This set cost me about $7. It comes with green lights, red lights, white lights, yellow and blue, flashing and everything. Now it has this cycle switch, so you can cycle it through. The cycle switch goes into connector set 1. That's where the cycle switch goes, and you got a little button. And let me show you what that does. Let's have a look at our red LED light that we're gonna put into the top of our 767 freighter. So we just simply put the red light into any one of the any one of the slots, like so, like that. Now I have a clear insulator here. I did some splicing of the wires, and that's a clear insulator, so don't let that fool you. And then I just take a regular life battery, about 5 to 6 volts, and I just pop it straight in there into the slot, like that. And we got a red strobe. All right. Now I take the cycle switch that I just showed you. Here's the cycle switch. I press it. That's one setting, and it's giving me a very scale Airliner strobe flash. Cycle it again, it's on constant. Cycle it again, blink, 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 and I'm getting a constant blink. Cycle it again, it's on constant. Cycle it again, blink, 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 blink. So I'm gonna probably do not that one, not that one. I'm going to do that, or something like that for the top of the fuselage light. All right, so we got that one, and then we have our up lights. We have our tail recognition floodlights, and let's put those into place. Now, in this setting, when you do this, all these lights are going to blink this way. Now, sometimes these modules are so small that you can have 2 of them in the plane, where one set is constant and the other set is the blinking lights, the outer wing lights. So these are the 2 white tail recognition lights that are going to be on the elevators shining up. They're going to be shining up onto the tail. All right, so let's mount these right now. Let's get these into place. Of our 767-300 freighter, and I've got this pre-marked piece of plastic here, and I'm going to put the light here so it's shining directly straight in on the insignia, and that way I don't have to worry. If I put it too far back towards the rear, I can hit this hinge here, and I know that there's 2 carbon fiber rods running through here. We'll let that plane pass. So I go ahead and put this at the end to the root of the stabilizer, and I go ahead and mark off a spot right here with the marker, right there. And that's where I'm going to drill the uplight hole. I might set it back a little bit. There we go. Because I don't want to hit one of the carbon fiber rods, and then if I do that, then I completely, you know, I'm destroying the structure of the plane. I don't want to do that. So I do the same thing on the other side. And I have an exact mark so that they're both the same distance out, so that when you put the lights in, one isn't there and one is here. You want them both the same amount of distance, and you want to give a good ability for the LED light. When you put it in, it has a good field of shine to light up the tail. That's the key. You have to be able to do that. All right, next step, let's start to drill the holes. All right, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to basically use this thin little screwdriver as a hole punch to basically punch a hole and get a starter hole going into the stabilizer. Now, the key here is, and this is important that you need to understand, the punch and the hole has to be on an angle downwards, because the light is shining that way. You understand what I'm saying? The light is shining up, not up, it's shining that way. So the hole has to be back through, so when you send the LED through, it's coming up on an angle. You understand what I'm saying? So I start a little starter hole with this, and I just kind of gently dig this into the balsa. And look at that, I went all the way through. Nothing to it. Let's do the same on the other side. In on an angle. Do you see? I'm going in on an angle. Like that. And I just gently punch this through and spin it a little bit. And just gently punch it straight through like that. And there we are. It's that simple. Alright, now what I'm going to do is I'll come in with the drill, and I'll drill the hole out a little bit wider, so that I can stick the LED in without any kind of a problem. And I come in on an angle, and I just gently fit the bit into the hole, and just give it a... There we are. Alright, I'm going to have to clean up the hole on the bottom a little bit. So I take an X-Acto knife, and I just come in, and I cut away any excess. There we go. Alright. And I take the X-Acto knife, and I clean the hole up a little bit too. Because you're going to have, you know, this is balsa, and I haven't put the covering film in place yet. So now that I do that, I take a paintbrush stem, and I run this up through to kind of clean the hole up. See? I run this through like so to clean the hole, clean it up a little bit. Now, I do the same on the other side. Alright? I fit the drill bit into the hole, the head into the hole, and I just start to give it a little turn. There we go. Nothing to it. Blow that out. Get our X-Acto knife, clean up the hole. Get rid of any jagged pieces of balsa, like so. And there we are. take my stem, stick it up through like so, and there we are. Alright. What I'm going to do is I take one of the white floodlights, one of the up floodlights, and I stick it through the hole. It's really easy, and there you go. It's out the hole. Perfect. It's right where I want it to be. Now, good. Right where I want it to be. Now let me turn them on so we know what's going on. And it's going to be dark soon. That'll really be great. There you go. Take the light and I angle it so that the light hits the insignia. See? I want the light to hit the insignia. Now, something I noticed, sometimes you're going to have to do this. You take this stem and you drive it through again, and sometimes you have to press it. You have to go like this to create a bit of an indentation so that the LED light can angle forward so that you can properly light up the tail the way you want to. Now I'm just setting these into position now, and I'll epoxy them into place when I've got the proper angle. But just to show you what's happening, I'm just for now, I'm just going to put a little piece of tape on here to hold this into position, like that, just to hold it in a position, just to hold this wire where I want it to be, so that the light just stays just like that. There we are. Just for this video for right now, so we get the light where I want it to be. See how the light is angling up against the tail. The light is shining up against the tail. That's what we want. That's how you do that. It's pretty straightforward and pretty easy. I try to make sure that everything I do on this channel is pretty much stuff that you can replicate at home. I try not to overcomplicate everything, so that way you watch this stuff and you say, well, I'll never be able to do that. I don't want that to happen. I want you guys to be able to pretty much build along with me, instead of me making things making videos and planes that are so complicated you just sit there and say, I'll never try. So I try and keep everything pretty much above board and easy. So I take the LED light and I send it up through the hole, and there we are. We're pretty much in right where we want to be. Perfect. I don't even have to tape that into place. That up light is right where I want it to be, and look at that. Yeah, I might have, just for now, a little piece of tape just to hold it, because it wants the wire right now, because I haven't fully set it into place yet, because I have to run wire channels, and that'll be in part 2. But for right now, this is good enough. There we go. And there we are. Those are here are 2 uplights on the tail. There are 2 uplights on the tail. Perfect. Absolutely perfect, just what I want. And that's where they're going to be. All right, now let's go for the red beacon light, flashing beacon up in the forward section of the fuselage. It'll be a little bit trickier because I have to punch through. This is good. This is a freighter version because I've got a big access cargo door right there, and I can just stick my hand right in and do everything that I need to do. Now on the 767-300, the top LED or the top beacon is right in between the nose and the beginning of the tail. Look at some photos. It's very important that when you set LED lights to your RC, to your aircraft, you want to make sure that it's scale. So one of the keys is, so what we want to do right now is we want to find a spot in between these two areas, right about here and here, as to where to put our red upper beacon. And that is going to be where the upper beacon is going to be. Now, what's also important is I make sure that it's in the center of the fuselage, because if it's not in the center of the fuselage, you know, it's not going to look right. So 15-inch mark. Actually, let's go about 16-inch, because I've seen the photos and it does seem to be halfway in between the nose and where the wing starts, so right about there. So I take the pen, make a little mark, and I eyeball it and make sure that the mark that I put in is straight in with the tail, and it isn't. It's off a little bit, right about there. It's important to try and be as scale as you can be when you do this kind of stuff. All right. Then what I do is I take my hole punch that I showed you guys, and I just go ahead. Let me get you guys a little bit closer here. I take the hole punch and I just start to gently push this and spin it with your hand straight down and in, like so, just like that. Now, if I look at the LED, for the upper LED, as you can see, it's pretty wide. It's about maybe 3 millimeters wide. So I got to make sure that the hole is wide enough for the LED to fit through. You understand? Okay, what we want to do is we want to get a hole down through the top here, and we want it wide enough so we can stick our LED through it. All right, so get a drill and very gently, wait a minute, this drill bit is not, okay, very gently, there we go. Okay, we want a clean hole. I'm going to take our X-Acto knife and we clean around that edge right there. Just gently widen the hole out a little bit more, like so. We can come in also with our punch and just gently put that through, and that'll widen the hole out a good amount, like so. All right, all the while being mindful and we don't want to break anything. We don't want to break anything, folks. All right, good. Perfect. Okay, we're through. Now I'm running the wire down through the hole, like so. And always give yourself plenty of excess. That way, if you need it, it's there. All right, now the next step is very important. I mix up a little bit of 5-minute epoxy, and I mix it up nice and easy. I just use an old old cardboard box of some granola bars. Any old box or a lid of a plastic container or something like that. You can reuse that because you bend it and you can crack the epoxy off when you're done with it. But I basically run the LED down and through, get it into place, and right at the end, what I do is I take some epoxy and I put a little bead. I run a little bead of epoxy right in there, right on the bottom, and right around right into the hole, like so. And then I push it down flat into place. And let's turn it on. so that we know we've got a if we got a good connection still. Obviously we want to make sure that that's working. There you go. All right, well, that's on constant, so let's cycle through and let's make it what we want it to be. Okay, perfect. Let's make sure it's in place. That's a little bit crooked, ever so slightly. So I gotta get it straight. I hope I don't have epilepsy, man, because this red light is gonna drive me crazy. So you just hold it into place as the epoxy sets, and that will forever bond this LED light right into the right to the fuselage. And there we are. We got our red beacon and we got our uplights on our 767-300 freighter on my customer's bird. I still need to put the nose gear lights in, and we'll do the wings, and that's going to be the next video, part 2. Let's have a look at some of my other airliners that I have now recently put lights on the fuselages, and let's have a look at those right now. All right, let's turn the lights off and let's see what we got. Okay, let's have a look here. Yeah, the red navigation light, strobe light up on the top really pops. And there's the tail uplight. That looks really good. That's exactly what you want in the uplight for the tail. That's exactly what you want. So that's exactly what you want for the uplight on the tail. That's perfect. That's what you want. Right there. That looks really good. That looks real good. Yep. That's exactly what you want. You want the tail uplights, the floodlights, to shine right up on the surface of the stabilizer rudder to show off the emblem. And yeah, it just adds that extra bit of scale and detail to your RC airplane. And there you have it. We got our floodlights in place, tail recognition lights, and we have our upper beacon strobe on the fuselage. And we're going to do the wings and do the rest of the fuselage in the next video in part 2. All right, thank you for joining me. This is DemonDriver. Bye-bye.